buddy. I love you. Hey, I'm just I'm heading down to a customer of mine, doing some business consulting, and thought I'd do a quick video. Just thinking about learning and staying in the now with learning. It's so important to. It's not possible. The ideal is to always be the student, never become the master. The master is the man who knows nothing. That's a reference, meaning that I know so much that I know that I only know a little bit about this and that. And the fool is the one that claims to be the master. Meaning I know so little that what I do know, I think, is the full extent of the topic. And I think that's really important to know. That way you know who you're dealing with and where you stand. Sometimes I say I'm the master of this, I do. And I'm not. I suck at it. And it's always been a good barometer for me to gauge where my ego's at, and on the topic, whatever it is, and also it also helps me identify who I'm dealing with. I have some arrogant, egotistical is what I meant to say, person standing in front of me saying things like I know everything, or are they cutting the sentences off to where there's no actual dialogue around it? It's just, I know this, done, period. That's a fearful person. I understand all that. I've done it all. That's a period. That's not open for dialogue. That's me being afraid because I don't know enough and I don't want to be corrected. I don't want to hear about solution because I don't want to change. So that kind of stuff. And it's really easy to get there. We're all going to get there, and I don't ever want you to beat yourself up completely because you have found yourself there. And if you're there right now, go easy on yourself, just identify that your ego's in play and he's eating too much, and start redistributing the food back to humility and being a student. That's the solution. The other piece is, I was going to do it in a separate video because I don't want to lose track of it. It's so important, the perspective. It's like the difference between change. Too often when we identify there's a problem in whatever area of life, we do a little bit of work and it's never enough. And then we're frustrated. We are frustrated with everything because we've changed and nothing's working. I tried that. It didn't work. That's not true. When people say that there's a solution for things and there's evidence to back that up with people's lives, don't ever say that you tried it and it didn't work for you. It just means you didn't commit to it. And I hold that wholeheartedly to myself. It just means I did not commit to it, man. So it's like having a glass of yellow liquid and a glass of blue liquid. You would think that you take the blue liquid and you dump it into the yellow liquid, and then all the blue liquid forces all the yellow liquid out. Now you have a blue cup. That's not how life works in general. The point is, you're going to pour that in, and what's going to end up happening is you're going to run out of blue, and you're going to end up, and the yellow is going to turn green because blue and yellow make green, and that's what you're going to end up with is green. You got to dump a hell of a lot of blue in to get all of the yellow out. And so what ends up happening is a lot of people dump one full glass of yellow or blue into their yellow cup, and they think that it should have shifted completely when all they have is green, and then they're frustrated because they did it and it didn't work. No, that just means you got to keep filling that green cup up with blue until it's all flushed out. So the mind is the same way. If I'm trying to change my perspective on things, I have got to flood my brain. It's like a little computer. I got to flood it with data on the topic. And I got to keep flooding it with data on that topic until all the memory is overwritten with new material. My focus will then completely change. But it's not going to completely change until that point. The in between, I'm just going to be confused. I got all this new data and I got all my old comfortable processing. It's just confusing. So the faster you commit fully, and the faster I commit fully this is my experience, the faster I get to a new perspective, and I really enjoy the benefits of it. But I'll never know the benefits until I get there. You know, a surfer can't tell you what kind of a spiritual experience it is to drop in on a wave until he goes and does it. You know, he can sit around his friends and yak out of the side of his neck all day long because they all do it and he knows the lingo. But you can tell there's something off about him. Something ain't right. When he talks, he sounds good. He looks good. But my gut's just telling me something ain't right about that boy. And it's because it's not true. It's not fully true. It's not true for him. So that's a little something about being a student and changing and staying in tune with learning and having humility. It's not an easy thing, and it's ego crushing, and it's called that because that's what it feels like when you're stuck in ego. It feels like you're literally being crushed out of this earth, and the world is like coming to an end at times. But it doesn't always have to feel that way. When you're in humility and you have some ego being crushed, it doesn't feel that way. It just feels like, oh, cool. Thanks for the new perspective. That was great. It feels beneficial. Everything's about perspective, but there's so much to learn. I know that was a bit long-winded and probably a bit jumbled up. I hope you're able to follow, man, and call me. I want to talk about it. You know, it's like I want to talk about it. I want to explore it more and get your thoughts and your perspective. It's much needed to build it out. I love you, dude. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.